Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. Welcome to a brand new episode of EP Live. Is everybody excited that it's the weekend? I can hear you. It's amazing. The internet is so damn cool. This rundown is going out to Lazy Healthy Dude. We had Spider-Man on the table yesterday. I kept winking at him, and he was a bit creeped out, but we enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's get started with your rundown. It looks like the Nintendo Switch is going to jump on that Battle Royale bandwagon. The hit online game Fortnite is rumored to be coming to the platform. A photo has appeared on 4chan, apparently showing Nintendo's E3 booth layout, and they have a section dedicated to an unannounced Switch version of Fortnite. No official announcements have been made by either Nintendo or Epic Games, so this could be a hoax. But given all the other E3 leaks that have turned out to be true, don't be surprised if this happens. E3 kicks off in 2 weeks, or whenever Walmart said it did, because this is the leakiest E3 I can remember. I can't believe how many things we know are going to be presented at E3 this year. It's incredible. Fortnite is an obvious one, though. I mean, the Epic Games is like Oprah Winfrey right now. They want all the money. They want everybody to know their name, and they want everybody playing. They're going to have like 50 celebrities playing Fortnite at E3. This is obnoxious. It's so big and huge. I guess I got to play it more. If everybody in the world is playing Fortnite, I guess I got to play some more. Now that it's on the Switch, though, because I take that damn thing everywhere with me, I'll probably play more Fortnite with that. That's great. Great news for Epic, great news for Nintendo, great news for Switch owners out there. Speaking of E3 leaks, a new Assassin's Creed game really is on the way. Yesterday, just hours after details on a new game called Assassin's Creed Odyssey leaked online. Leak is this rundown is brought to you by the word leak today, by the way. Ubisoft went ahead and officially announced that yes, the game is the real deal. They posted a brief video showing an assassin doing the famous kick from the movie 300, confirming that the new game will take place in ancient Sparta and Greece. Given the title, don't be surprised if Homer's Odyssey plays a big role. No word on when Assassin's Creed Odyssey will arrive, so it could land this year or 2019. More details at E3. Let's hope it's 2019, okay? I said it yesterday, but a breather on Assassin's Creed creates anticipation. Look at what Nintendo does. Look at what they do with every one of their releases. They give us time to want. They give us time to build the hype and wait, and then they release it, and it's amazing, you know? And I feel like Ubisoft has done this with Assassin's Creed. They've just given us so many of them. It's like, oh, great, here's another massive, beautiful, historically set, wonderful Assassin's Creed. And we don't want that. There's too many fantastic artists contributing, working together to build us something amazing with this franchise. They always do. You know, even if they don't always work, they always work their butts off to build us something beautiful. Give them time. Let them, not just time to build it, but give us time to want it. Anyways, just end of rant. Let's see what happens. You'll be able to take a leap of faith with the new mode in Battlefield 5. DICE has announced that the new game is getting an all-new multiplayer mode called Airborne. It'll have teams of players that will leap out of an airplane into a large map and then work together to destroy enemy artillery. That's all DICE has said for now, so we're still waiting to see the new mode in action. Jumping out of an airplane into a large map sounds suspiciously similar to a Battle Royale mode, but they still haven't confirmed or denied if the game will be getting one of those. Battlefield 5 deploys this October. Here's my expectation is yes, there will be a Battle Royale mode in Battlefield 5. This Airborne mode immediately makes me flash back to Medal of Honor Airborne, which was a fun World War II set Medal of Honor game where you could jump out of planes and parachute into combat. And I don't know if this is like a tip of the helmet kind of homage to that game, which is also owned, or that franchise, which is also owned by EA. This sounds like a perfect fit for Battlefield 5, and so does, frankly, a Battle Royale mode in Battlefield 5. In Battle Royale, it was Battlefield that got us up to 64 players on a battlefield at once, and it doesn't seem that out of the ordinary or that out of the question to just throw in 36 more people, and we do the full-on Battle Royale mode, and I think that'll be crazy. So I'm expecting it in Battlefield 5. I will be surprised if it is not in Battlefield 5. So we will find out, likely tomorrow, because it will leak. One of the best shows on television will be back in the courtroom this summer. AMC has announced that the fourth season of their Breaking Bad prequel, Better Call Saul, will finally premiere on August 6th, more than a year after the third season ended. Fans have been waiting to find out when the new new season will arrive, especially after the cliffhanger finale of the last one, and they're glad to even be getting a new season because AMC waited until the last minute to give the show a renewal. Despite critical praise, Better Call Saul has failed to get the same ratings as Breaking Bad, so the fourth season might be its last. You know, it was never fair to Better Call Saul to be compared to one of the best television shows ever on television and one of the biggest moneymakers for AMC as well. But you know, against all sort of better judgment and expectation and cynicism, Better Call Saul has turned out to be a very popular show that is adored by millions and millions of people out there. I haven't watched it yet, and I definitely want to. It's on another one of the on my long list of TV shows that I need to make time in my life for. But I love Breaking Bad. I didn't miss an episode of that, and I love all the actors in Better Call Saul, including Michael Mando. Shout out to him. But I definitely want to catch this show, and I'm happy for all the fans out there that get another season. That's very, very good news. We've also got some good news that's going to take us back in time. We call it This Day and Everything Cool. Welcome to This Day and Everything Cool for June 1st. On this day in 1998, the Game Boy camera was released in North America following its debut in Japan a few months earlier. The device worked with all the existing versions of the handheld Game Boy, including the original from the 80s. It gave users the ability to take black and white pictures and then make fun edits and additions to each photo. You could then print the photos using another peripheral, the Game Boy printer. This was one of the first big camera peripherals for any gaming device, and at the time it actually held the distinction of being the smallest digital camera on the market. It developed a large cult following and can be looked at as a precursor to other game cameras like the PlayStation Eye and Xbox Kinect. The Game Boy camera also had several mini-games where players could track their movements using the camera to interact with in-game objects, an idea that Nintendo would continue to develop with future devices like the Wii. We should have shot an episode of Electric Playground with the Game Boy camera, huh? That would have been amazing. Fantastic to see you, Paul Adamson, Kevin Wiley. We got Tyler Fisher in there. We've got Adrian Leon, you rock. We've got Oasis Beyond. People are asking about if I ever don't wear button-up shirts. I like to wear button-up shirts. I've tried T-shirts and stuff like that on the show. It's just a little too casual. Sometimes I put a suit jacket over a T-shirt, but for the most part, I do like the button-up shirts. I have several plaid shirts. When I go shopping for shirts, I go, I got it. It's like baseball cards. Got it, need it. I've got every variation of plaid you can imagine. And it's weird, the longer that you're on this earth, the more times you will buy the exact same shirt over and over again, which is just a weird thing that I've noticed in my 33 years of life. Anyways, it's time to, speaking of being on this earth for a long time, it's time to take a look at a very cool new game that's a collection of a bunch of old games. Here's my review of the Sega Genesis Classics collection. All right, you guys, let me talk to you about one of the best deals in video gaming you could get right now. This is Sega's Genesis collection for the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. I believe there's a Windows version of this. No Switch version yet. I suspect that there will be very soon. This is a massive collection of about more than 50 games from the Genesis era. We don't get any, Sega Master System games. We don't get any Game Gear games. We don't get any 32X games. Disappointing a little bit, but we get more than 50 games, and it costs $40 in Canada, $30 in the States. That is a crazy deal because there are incredible games on this collection. They are emulated, and not all of the emulation is absolutely pixel perfect, and you might get some sound hiccups, you might get some weird anomalies, but they've added some pretty cool features to this collection, like the ability to rewind and fast forward a little bit, so you can speed through some text, or you can speed, if you're trying to get somewhere in a game, you can speed up a little bit and zip to something, or if you die, because you're going to die a lot of these games are very hard, you can rewind and give yourself a little bit of extra breathing room. You can also save the games in-game, and there's a whole bunch of kind of ways that you can look at all of these old classic 4x3 pixelated, sprite-based games in the way that they're sort of aspect ratioed for you. You're going to choose to watch them inside of this little television that's rendered. You have this kind of bedroom kind of setting where you've got your collection of cartridges sitting on a shelf, and then you've got this little 4x3 TV that you can play the games on, or you can zoom in and have different types of borders around it. And there's also trophies and achievements that you can collect. And there's online play, which I tried out, and you can do it in a couple different ways. You can do it where all the games are selected and it just randomly finds you a person to play a random game, or you could choose to look for matchups specific to different titles. You know, you're playing Gunstar Heroes, you're playing Dynamite Heady. I'd never played a game called Light Crusader before, which was made by Treasure, and I was really kind of charmed by this title. It's kind of an isometric action RPG with a sense of humor. I walked up to this lady who was playing on an organ, trying to play some music, and she said, "Listen to how great I am," and she just starts just demolishing a tune, and I was just cracking up. I just thought I had a sense of humor. And then you get into some pretty cool dungeons and traps and, fights with different creatures and stuff. I also dug the giant-sized sprite characters in Beyond Oasis. A little bit of a clunky control system there, but really cool art, It's a top-down action RPG. They were seriously chasing the Zelda throne on the Sega Genesis. They never quite got it. They got games that are pretty cool. Landstalker is actually another good one, too. But Beyond Oasis was kind of special. It just looks so cool, It almost was like a top-down amalgamation of some of the Zelda mechanics fused with some of the Prince of Persia kind of aesthetics, and I liked checking that out. I liked checking out Alien Storm, where I got to play a robot with an electro whip, which is and it plays a little bit like Golden Axe. I thought that was pretty fun. Man, there's so many great experiences on here. You get some Virtual Fighter and some Vector Man. I'll give you the whole list so you can see the depth of game titles. I mean, seriously, you're talking about 1,000 hours of gaming here. So let's see, we'll start right from the top. Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, Alien Soldier, Alien Storm, Altered Beast, Beyond Oasis, Biohazard Battle, Bonanza Brothers, Columns 3. They dropped Columns 2 for some reason. Comic Zone, classic. Crackdown, Decap Attack, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Dynamite Heady, E-SWAT City Under Siege, Fatal Labyrinth, Flicky, Gain Ground, that's very hard to play, Galaxy Force 2, no Galaxy Force 1, Golden Axe, Golden Axe 2, Golden Axe 3, Gunstar Heroes, Kid Chameleon, Landstalker, Light Crusader, Phantasy Star 2, 3, and 4, but no Phantasy Star 1, weird. Rise Star, Shadow Dancer, The Secret of Shinobi, Shining in the Darkness, Shining Force 2, Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, they dropped 3, which is weird, and Sonic & Knuckles, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball, Space Harrier 2, Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3, Super Thunderblade, Sword of Vermilion, The Revenge of Shinobi, Toe Jam and Earl, Panic on Funkatron, Vector Man 2, Virtual Fighter 2, Wonder Boy 3, Monster's Lair, and Wonder Boy in Monster World. This is just crazy. There is tons of excellent gaming, and it's like 1,000 hours of gaming for $30 in the States, $40 in Canada. I think this is also one, because I have the Ultimate Collection, the Sonic Ultimate Collection, or Sonic's Sega Genesis Ultimate Collection for the 360. That's backwards compatible on the Xbox One, which is great. I have that on disc, but there's something about, and don't get me wrong, I love physical releases and I love having that collection and stuff, but there's something about having it just instantly available to you on the hard drive. I also bought that At Games recent Sega Genesis thing where you can actually put the cartridges in. I'm kind of a fan of that. And it's cool because I can dig up some of my old cartridges and slap them in there. And it would have been great for Sega to work out some licensing deals to get some third-party software on here. There's lots of other games, even games that Sega published, like the Adventures of Batman and Robin, which wasn't a great Batman game, but it still had that kind of the old animated series Batman kind of look. That Garfield game that they made as well. Clearly, they had some licensing stuff that they could have sort of gone through the hoops to get that they didn't for whatever reason, but there were also lots of other external developers that published lots of games for the Genesis that would have been great on here, and I would have loved to have seen the Star Wars arcade game that came out for 32X on here. You just know that Sega has it within them to give us the true Ultimate Collection with hundreds of these titles, or to flick some switches and let you download every single one of these old classic games, and all of the accoutrements, all of the Sega CD stuff, and all the 32X stuff. That's not included here. So this isn't the Ultimate Collection. Every time I tried to play this thing with people online, I had some issues with lag, which was nuts, and I feel like that needs to be patched, and I feel like some of the emulation stuff could also be sweetened and patched, just to make things just even a little bit more precise. But still, it's incredibly difficult to quibble with a collection that includes, 3 Golden Axe games, 3 Streets of Rage games, a bunch of Phantasy Stars, a bunch of awesome Treasure games, a bunch of Sonic the Hedgehog games. It's still an unbelievable deal, and I think that this is one, if you've never picked up one of these collections before of Sega Genesis games, you have a lot to enjoy. These games are good. There's lots of great games in here, but I think this is one that you're going to want on your hard drive. You're going to want to be able to just sort of boop in, play for a little bit, and boop out. I'm going to give the Sega Genesis collection an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, Tyler, of course we say dope AF. You guys can figure out what AF stands for. I'm not going to say that live on camera. My kid might watch this one day. Yes, gracias to Benny Hill and his composers, I guess, or wherever they got the Benny Hill music from. Good edit on that, Blake. I love these Sega games. I can't tell you how much they make my heart grow 2 sizes too big, like the Grinch, but I'm like the happiest Grinch there ever was. And it feels like we've been inundated with lots of classic stuff. The Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection, I've been playing that. I've been playing Ikaruga. I've been playing Wonder Boy. I've been playing all those Johnny Turbo arcade games that I just reviewed. There is this bounty of great titles that are rooted in sprites and rooted in 2D design, but that doesn't stop me from finding another great buried treasure for you. Take a look. I've been on a bit of a treasure kick ever since I played so many treasure games on the Sega Genesis collection. And a buried treasure from Treasure is the old Game Boy Advance game, Astro Boy Omega Factor, which came out in 2004. Now, it's based on Osamu Tezuka's incredible Astro Boy manga and anime projects over the years. They took a lot of different sort of plot elements from the sort of collective body of work there. But Treasure took all of that incredible art style, the beautiful story of this kind of Pinocchio-like robotic boy that this professor kind of crafts in his son's image, but with all kinds of incredible abilities, and made an awesome, flying, punching, kicking, beat-em-up type of experience in the sort of renowned Treasure style. Lots of great power-ups, lots of sort of ways to augment your character, beautiful graphics, sprite-based, of course, and it just looks incredible. Fluid animation, lots of great little details all over the place. Astro Boy has always been, I'm not I don't consider myself like a hyper fan. I don't know all of the details, but I've always loved the look and feel of this. I actually enjoyed the CG animated movie, which was absolutely made for Western audiences, but I actually thought it looked pretty cool. But I've loved, the manga books that I've flipped through and the anime stuff that I have seen, and I was just blown away by the quality of the experience on this little Game Boy Advance cartridge. Now, you're going to have to dig up an old DS or an old Game Boy Advance system to be able to play this thing on. I don't know if this is collected anywhere. I don't know if you can download this legally anywhere, but it is a wonderful game, and it's absolutely worth pursuing, especially if you have any kind of, admiration for the work that has gone into Astro Boy over the years of Astro Boy stuff out there. Awesome story. Would love to see this character return in some new games, but also some new media in some really big ways. Clearly, Astro Boy was a heavy influence on what became of our beloved Mega Man as well. But this was a wonderful title, and man, you guys have got to do yourself a big favor and dig up as many of the Treasure-developed games. I mean, they've got the new Ikaruga out there right now. Incredible development studio, and this was absolutely a very special highlight from them, and a buried treasure. Treasure is, as Blake said, a treasure. And man, what a company. And there's a bunch of great Treasure games on that Sega Genesis collection. You should get that if you don't have it. If you don't already have a compilation, I guarantee you're going to have a good time digging through all that stuff. Okay, we have another review to give you. It's the final part of my escapades through Gotham. But before we do, I've Instagrammed out. We sort of let people know on Twitter. If you live in the Vancouver area or near the Vancouver area, we would love for you to come and join us. We are going to be doing EP Live as we live stream the press conferences. We will talk over them and give you our opinions about stuff that's revealed and released. Although, thanks to what's the Walmart? Yeah, thanks to Walmart, we know almost everything that is going to be released. But we're very excited to be doing this live at the EXP bar in Vancouver, which is down on Pender Street. I Instagrammed the address and the info and the schedule, and I just retweeted that. But if you can come and join us, please do. There's no cover charge. You can come. There's going to be food. There's going to be drinks. We're going to be shooting the crowd. We're going to be asking questions of the crowd. May have some T-shirts. I still have to kind of figure that out. But more than anything, we just want to have a good time and kind of celebrate E3. Since we are staying in Vancouver for the pressers, and then Blake and I are hopping on a plane, and we're going to meet up with Jose and some of the friends that we have in the EP community at the show on Tuesday morning. We're going to head right down to Los Angeles and go see everything. But we're here on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday covering all of the press conference stuff, and we're going to be headquartered at EXP Bar in Vancouver, downtown Vancouver, June 9th, 10th, and 11th. If you're in town and want to join us, please do that, okay? It'll be so much fun. But right now, let's take a look at my final summation of Gotham Season 4. That's it. I have concluded my time with Gotham Season 4. I got through all 22 episodes. 17 through 22 is the last chunk of episodes that I binged. And what an epic season. It's almost too big. There's almost too much stuff going on in here. And at my end kind of feeling of watching all of these shows is one of breathlessness, like, oh my God, I need a break from the show. And also one of kind of exhaustion and a little bit of frustration because I feel like the kitchen sink was thrown into this thing, and it smacked of desperation. It smacked of the producers and the showrunners not knowing for sure if they were going to get another season and wanting to do everything they could desperately to bring as many viewers to this thing with giving as many kind of highlight reel moments from the Batman storylines over the years in the comic books as they possibly could cram into a season of television. And I think it does the show a disservice. And that's kind of my feel. I mean, yes, I still feel strongly that there are too many episodes. 22 is a lot of episodes, a lot of shows to, focus this much time on when you're kind of still developing the myth, I mean, this is supposed to be the prequel before Batman, Bruce Wayne sort of working his way to becoming Batman. But this season was just so jam-packed with Batman villains. It was all of the Rogues Gallery. We had Mad Hatter, we had Pig, we had Mr. Freeze, Scarecrow, tons with Penguin, tons with Riddler. We had two Jokers. We had Jerome and Jeremiah of Alaska. They're not allowed to call them Joker, but Cameron Monaghan got to play a crazy variation on the comic book Joker and Heath Ledger's Joker, and then he got to play a whole different kind of Joker, a more sort of subdued, a maniacal, more, patently evil version of the Joker. So standout kind of career-making year for Cameron Monaghan because he got to do a lot of overacting, got to chew a lot of scenery, and he did a good job. He was really fun on screen, but God, this was a tiring season. There's lots of great stuff in here. Don't get me wrong. I think Ben McKenzie went through a really good arc. He really kind of questioned his morality and some of the dark choices that he did. I think Bruce Wayne and Alfred's roles throughout this season have been fantastic as well. I think they've really challenged their relationship and really kind of put Bruce into this position of like accepting his responsibilities and the new mantle that he's going to have as a bit of a protector and a guardian for the city. And you kind of see the reasons why there. I like the Catwoman arc as well. She's got some misgivings about being a scumbag, and she has some doubts about whether she is an out and out just in it for herself criminal, which is all correlates well with the character. I thought we had way too much Mad Hatter. That guy got on my nerves. The Scarecrow variation that we had in the show was awesome and scary. They did some fantastic effects work around this thing. We had Ra's al Ghul in this thing. We had everything. Everybody was in it. We had Solomon Grundy was put into the show. It was too jam-packed, and I think that's the biggest problem with Gotham. I commend the people involved for not being afraid to go for it, to kind of just say, no, we can be the biggest comic book show on TV, even though our hero isn't in the show yet. We can put every villain that we know from Batman lore into this thing. That's fine, that's fun, but it just is overstuffed, and like the drama was like this all the way. And people are blowing up, they're getting squished by giant metal balls, their heads are exploding. We've got bridges, destroying huge chunks of Gotham, people leaping off of buildings, and I would not want to live in this Gotham. And I guess this is the Gotham that is the birthplace of Batman. It is such a decrepit and hostile environment that there's no other choice but the city to give birth to Batman. And that's what the next season, the Dark Knight season 5 of Gotham, is going to be about, is David Mazouz really becoming this character. And I'm excited for that, don't get me wrong. But yeah, there are too many episodes in this season. It is not a great show to binge because it's just constantly screaming at you at the highest decibel level. It does not let up. There is no sort of slow moment where you kind of get some character beats and stuff like that. You don't really get an understanding of the home life of any of these characters. It's just all like, I gotta take over the city, I gotta fight these guys, I gotta shoot these guys in the head. Oh no, the demon's hand is here. Oh man, the Joker's gonna blow up every building in the city. It's just too much, it's just too much. And I think all of it could be rectified if we had fewer episodes, but we are desperately missing the Batman element, and I think that an interesting exercise in trying to create the world before Batman and to create the need for this character, but the absence of Batman is really supremely felt, especially when we've got Mr. Freeze walking around in full costume and the Scarecrow in full costume and Mad Hatter. Like all of these characters just demand an equal. They demand somebody on the other side. And as cool as Bullock and Gordon are, and great performances by these actors, the thing that it's missing is Batman. And the producers are saying that we're getting that next year, but I don't know, man. Are we going to get the real Batman, or are we going to just get, David Mazouz in a trench coat and a beanie that he puts over his face, It was like having every flavor of Baskin-Robbins just sitting there, except for the chocolate. They forgot the chocolate. The chocolate in this analogy would be the Batman. I still had fun. I'm going to give Season 4 of Gotham, my overall feeling of this thing, 7.5 out of 10. I remain super excited for Gotham Season 5, even though too much of a good thing, which I think you can kind of paint as the picture around Gotham Season 4. It is too much of a good thing. Too many villains, too big. But I am super psyched to see what they do with Season 5, and hopefully there's a massive payoff, because that's going to be the last season, unless Netflix goes, or Amazon, or one of these other guys says, you know what? Or the new DC streaming app, the service that they're doing. 5 could be really big, but would love to hear your comments below. If you've got some thoughts on Gotham, or if you're in the live stream right now, let us know in here. But right now it's time for Let's Play and Chat. And since this episode is kind of an homage to Sega and to their Genesis era and their 16-bit era, I would say even the Astro Boy Omega Factor kind of fits in there. It would have been a great Sega Genesis game. Let's take a look at the Sega Genesis Classics collection. We're going to start a little bit with Altered Beast. Blake is going to join me. Remember, if you could help us out with capitalizing your comments or questions or whatever, we'll try to get to them. But chat along with us. Let's check out some of these games, and I'll show you the interface and all that stuff as well. Here is Altered Beast, and let's start. This is the game where you become a beast. This was a launch title for the Sega Genesis. I paid probably $80 for this one when I bought my Sega Genesis in 1989.
Hi, everyone.
And hello, Blake.
And this is a precursor to Golden Axe, right?
I don't know if it's, it might have been some of the same developers, but there was an arcade version of this, and one of the things that Sega really kind of touted was that the Genesis was going to be as close to an approximation of the arcade kind of scene as video game consoles had ever been, and they were accurate with that. I love that the move with this guy is he punches them in the balls, which is amazing.
I remember when we did the Golden Axe documentary, we interviewed the creator of Golden Axe, and he talked about how this was sort of the precursor to Golden Axe.
Okay.
Golden Axe was meant to be a spiritual successor to this.
Gotcha.
I think. I could be wrong.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm pretty sure though.
All right. I don't have all of my factoids in front of me, but I gotta get to the wolf, right? I gotta. So you have to get 3 of the power balls.
Do they have?
All about balls.
Do they have the little dwarf in this?
I don't think so. You know, like
Or that's Golden Axe, yeah.
yeah, I remember beating this game when I bought it for $80. You're welcome, Sega. And never playing it again. Like it was like, okay, I beat it, and it was just it didn't hold a lot of fascination for me. Golden Axe was way cooler, let's face it. And then all the EA Sports stuff started happening soon after this, and Sonic the Hedgehog and Mortal Kombat and all kinds of other fun stuff on the Genesis. Oh, come on, I'm just getting trounced.
Tyler Fisher says, when I was a kid, I had a friend who thought Altered Beast was superior to Mario.
Oh, yeah?
It got better graphics than Mario.
Well, yeah, if you came from the NES era, for sure, it was like, oh my god, look at all these colors. I mean, look at all that parallax scrolling.
Compared to the very first Mario game, this has better graphics.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more going on. But the, one of the things that I definitely noticed as I've been playing these Sega Genesis games is the nuance of the controls was nowhere near what Nintendo was able to offer.
Oh, yeah.
It just, they were super cool. And some of them, that's a generalization. Some of the Genesis games are excellent, but there was just this precision and fidelity and gracefulness about the development on the Nintendo machines.
You just have like a two-headed dog just jumps on you.
Yeah, I know. This is really freaking tough. I think we need to do a 2-player.
Okay.
Join me.
I'm gonna jump in.
Okay.
We don't need to get to the wolf, Vic.
We got to get to the wolf before we're moving on.
I love the transformation of you turning into the wolf.
Yeah, we got to do it.
It looks so awesome. I put it in the thumbnail for the show.
Okay,
but,
press start.
Just start the option button? How did they map it?
Should be there. You're not there? Okay, hold on one sec. Let's quit. How do we quit?
Hold to exit. Hold the...
Okay, so...
You got a big golden axe in the corner of your TV.
Yeah.
Actually, we have one of those here on the set. We have Kratos' axe somewhere
With the Kratos axe over there, yes.
Yeah.
How do I reboot this thing? I don't know if I can. Okay, now we're playing it on the little TV, which is so cute.
It's weird for us too, because we're looking at this on a TV with that. It's already in a frame, so it's a frame within a frame within a frame for us. So that's a little odd.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know how you join me.
Question from Doi O and Victor Lucas: Do you think Did you try Nintendo Labo with Ruby yet?
Nope, have not. Stick that back in. Okay, cool. No, I have not. I'm definitely very curious. I'm actually curious to see how they follow the Labo launch up with new stuff. I mean, I haven't heard overwhelming praise around Labo. I heard that it's fun and kind of
here I am.
Nifty. You're both in there. We're both in there.
I'm the blue guy, I think.
Yeah.
Am I a woman or a man?
I don't know.
What are the controls? I don't know the controls.
They only had 3 buttons, so there was the jump and punch and kick. Ooh,
that's jump,
big.
that's punch, that's
Look at how
kick.
big I am. Look at how tiny my head is. So I'm absolutely curious
Look at this like upward kick I do when I'm on the
to get Labo. I just haven't said, okay, I want to go and spend $150 to go and buy Labo right now,
I'm sure it's a good game, but it's hard for me to justify spending that much money on a piece of cardboard.
Okay, here we go. It's
yes!
happening.
Why didn't we see it though? There's like flame in front of it.
Did you press a button?
I don't know.
Something weird happened there. Maybe that's one of the emulation quirks. Ooh, he's way faster.
You've become the altered beast.
Ooh.
How do we kill this dude?
The Emperor from Return of the Jedi.
Is my amount of clothing like indicating how much health I have? Is that what that? Because I lost my shirt. I turned it to William Shatner.
No, you're getting bigger. You're too big for your shirt. There you go. Get
is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, I want these things?
Yeah, get that.
Oh, I was avoiding them.
Get the other one. Then you're gonna be the other wolf.
Oh, I thought I was avoiding them. I thought they were like.
No, you want that. Get that. Jump up. Jump up.
Oh, I can jump up there.
Yeah. You'll get another one. We gotta get the dogs. And this is cool.
Oh, so you kill the dogs and get a thing from the dogs that turns you into a wolf? Okay, there we go. Yeah!
We're altered!
It's just a goofy
You're
looking...
green!
He's like, grr. He's like got this weird smile. Now I'm a green wolf. It's awesome.
This is awesome.
We're totally neglecting the chat.
I was stealing all the power-ups, Darren, you're right.
I didn't know those were power-ups. I thought they were... Why is this guy not dying from my green thing? I'm throwing green things at this dude. Is he like the main enemy of the game? Oh my god, he turned into a Satan. He's throwing his head at
This
us.
is just like the Hereditary movie that Johnny and I saw. It's pretty much the same.
He's like, "Do you want some head?" And he throws some heads at you. We're supposed to avoid these things, I take it, right? Oh,
Yeah.
How do you avoid them? Is this like...
I don't know.
This is
I'm
like the
already
rock
bored.
monster in Mega
I
Man.
want to play a different game.
Okay, I think I figured out the timing of...
Okay.
You gotta kind of jump through and then...
Okay, I'm dead.
I suck.
You're dead. All right, let's get out of here. That's
Okay,
enough of that one.
Let's hold... I want to say, I think
no
it's
offense
really...
to people that love this. It's like Cuphead, Paul Adamson.
I think it's really cool that Sega did this whole animated dorm room thing.
It's cool. It could be a little slicker. I mean,
But you think most compilations, they just give you like a list, right?
Yes.
Here it's like you actually have this
yeah.
this cool graphic thing. It's neat.
This is Digital Eclipse, and I'm wondering if it's Mike Micah that put in the extra love and time in this. Okay, so let's go to
Oh, here's a good question from Nintendo Boy 17.
Alien Storm. I want to show this one.
Which is better, Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection or this?
I think this has more games, but I think there was more extras on the Ultimate Sonic Genesis Collection.
Right.
If you already have that, you're probably doing pretty good.
Is this 2-player or 1?
This 2-player.
Okay, so did you want me to keep playing or?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, chat. Question from Vaz Vegas. Do you guys think it's possible Nintendo got the idea for the Switch from the PlayStation TV? Maybe the whole industry's been trending in that direction for a while, right?
I think you could point at that, or you could point at the iPad and Apple TV and iPhone integration that Apple's been doing. I think the games business, we talk about this all the time, is moving more towards accounts rather than hardware. And so I think there's going to be, you're going to be signing up for services basically to. This is such a cool thing.
What am I doing?
We're shooting the bad guys. It's just
Is this
like
a cutscene or?
no, we're in it. We're in the game, man.
Who am I?
Super fast.
Am I the red? I'm the red guy.
Yeah, you're the guy in red. I'm the robot with the whip.
Okay, what are the controls? So that's to move, but how do I can't move back? What?
So the Switch is definitely just like
Something's
an
wrong here.
extrapolation of why can't you move?
I'm like, it's like there's lag for when I move. Maybe that's intentional. Maybe that's how the game just plays. I don't know.
Well, it's going through the computer and through the.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
My guy's okay.
Tyler Fisher wants to know if we're going to test out or review that Microsoft's new Xbox controller for disabled gamers or people with limited mobility.
I think that would be cool, but I think the only way to really show that off is to put someone that could really benefit from it on camera and get their opinions on it. I don't know what I would offer.
I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool for even just someone who doesn't have motor function problems to you can just plug in and like play with your foot? You know what I mean? Like,
just to try it'll certainly help like the speedrunner community.
Yeah, and you can plug in any kind of like joystick you want or whatever, right?
I just think that the story is that people that could use the extra sort of attention are getting it, which is great.
Yeah.
I applaud them, and I'm sure the other guys are going to come up with something similar. It's too smart a move.
Yeah, it was really heartwarming when they released that trailer and you see all the people like
Yeah.
talking about how they couldn't play games anymore and now they can.
Speaking of games, this is the best video game ever made, I think, right here, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a
I don't know if
robot
it's better
with a
than
whip.
Half-Life 2, Vic.
It's pretty much, it is Half-Life 2.
I don't like this control, my red guy.
Look at me, look at how fast I am. I can
Can
spin.
I try? Maybe it's like because you move really fast, so I have to move slow because I'm carrying a big gun.
Maybe. Yeah. I move
not even-
super fast. I have
I'm
a
not
whip
even-
that has that's.
Can I try
got
your
lightning on
character?
it.
Can we trade controllers? I want
Okay.
to try your guy here.
All right.
I want to see if it's just me or.
All right. I was the robot. I like being the robot.
What are the? How do I use the whip though?
X button.
Oh.
These games were made for 3 buttons, man. Simple.
Okay, you gotta
Actually,
just.
some of them were 6 buttons.
It's just getting used to the timing of the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty
I do like the robot better though.
pretty straightforward. And then, were you shooting? Oh, okay. You can roll with this guy too.
I look like the Battlestar Galactica robot.
I know. He's a Cylon. He's amazing.
Or Tin Man or something.
I'm starting
Here,
again.
okay, do you want to trade back, Vic? So you can be. the
No, that's
robot?
okay. I have never actually played as this guy. It's fascinating.
Oh, the garbage cans turned into monsters.
Yeah. This is so crazy.
The robot's getting eaten by the thing. I suck at this game, Vic. I'm like bringing shame to my whole family. these like little devil things.
Look at that, he just puked fire on me. This is freaking amazing.
I suck at this game. Doyon is asking how is
such a 90s game.
How is this game different than the Sonic collection?
I mean, I didn't look at the Sonic collection before I
think
jumped
this has more games, doesn't it?
This has more than 50 games.
Okay.
And the emulation is pretty solid. There's definitely some stuff that's missing. But if you already have the Sonic, because that was a pretty solid one as well. Sega's done this a few times.
It blew up. Oh, I picked up my head.
The challenge is, though, I don't think it's backwards compatible on the PlayStation 4. It is on the Xbox One. If you're an Xbox One gamer and have the Xbox 360 disc, you can also get that collection probably for $10 cheaper on. Look at this, it's so cool.
This is a cool game. I like
the Microsoft Store than this is because this is a new one. But I think you get more games, and that's the heart of it.
I just wish I didn't suck at this game so bad.
The thing about classic games is that they've all come out. You know, there is a finite amount of them, and they're not going to get better really in new compilations. All they're going to do is offer you more stuff. And I think instead of a lot of extras, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, which I think the Sonic game offered a little bit more of that, more details about how these things got made. That's super cool too. But this really doesn't have a lot of that. This is more just about being able to play all these games. Speaking of which, let's play a little Streets of Rage. One of the cool things here is you can, in your games library, which looks like just a bunch of stuff on the shelf, it's weird that there's all this space, right? That just almost says, look, you can download.
That's where you put your Nintendo games in real life.
Well, yeah, or I would like to see the 32X library just open up there.
Maybe that's why they left space. Maybe they're going to add it.
I hope so. That would be great. But let's load in some Streets of Rage. Boom, I like this animation. This is all cool. Could all look a little bit more high fidelity, but
there could be more texture on it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any new.
In terms of emulation and stuff like that, I mean, I didn't dig in and get all technical and try to figure out, you know, if pixels were moved over, if music isn't exactly the same. I didn't do like an emulation one-to-one. I would expect that lots of the same people that worked on the Sonic collection worked on this recent Sega collection, and I wouldn't be surprised if Digital Eclipse was a part of that because they do this quite a bit. But I think you got to look at the price to value equation.
Is this the game where they like walk out and punch a woman in the first? What's that game where it's like the first thing that happens is like a guy walks out and hits a woman?
I don't know.
Is that this?
Could be. This is very famous for its combat and very famous for its music and really detailed graphics. So first thing, cop comes in, blasts the environment, but we're good. No, let's.
Am I the guy in the yellow shirt?
Yeah, you're the guy in the yellow shirt.
Oh, what's happening?
Chat,
what's the game where the woman gets punched in the first like 5 seconds?
There's 3 Streets of Rage games.
There's a game like this where it's like a woman gets punched, and it was really. I remember it was like an '80s game, and it was really controversial.
Could it have been Narc? Or
the chat's gonna tell me.
Okay.
Chat, is it Double Dragon?
Double Dragon?
Is it Double Dragon? I have no idea what I'm doing, Vic. Am I just supposed to punch people?
Yeah.
Why don't I have a gun?
No, this is fisticuffs. This is a beat 'em up.
Was this Double Dragon was turned into a movie, right?
Yeah.
With the T-1000
in
it? Yeah. Was this ever turned into a movie?
No.
Okay.
What Sega should do is make a new version of this.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned that it would be amazing if Rocksteady got the development on a 3D upgrade or a 3D revisit to the Streets of Rage.
Why am I punching you?
Oh, you could beat me up, huh?
Awesome. I'm just gonna do that the whole time.
Okay, cool.
First thing, I gotta fuck up this ginger.
You're gonna beat this ginger up. Bye, redhead. So you're not hearing these bitchin' tunes, but I am.
Okay.
It's awesome. Woo!
Oh, there's a big ginger. Gonna mess this dude up.
Big ginger.
Oh, there's a non-ginger.
I think that's a woman.
We're equal opportunity ass kickers.
I mean, these guys got to go and beat up the gangs.
If they're messing with me, you know, your gender doesn't matter.
All right, we have.
And this telephone doesn't matter either. I'm gonna
Nope.
fuck this telephone
Go beat
full
the shit out of that
telephone box
telephone.
up.
There it is. There you got some kind of.
Is that, what is that? An ice cream? It looks like a. Oh,
No,
it's
you
a.
got a bat of some kind of a bottle. There you go. A cricket bat.
I like I'm holding it so daintily. Vic, why are you hugging me? I'm trying to.
I don't
think
know.
Here, do you want the bottle?
Woo! Some good wrestling moves. This is amazing.
Yeah. Why has this not been remade? Why is this not on the Switch?
Why is this not on the Switch? Indeed. Last month.
Why is everything not on the Switch?
Last month,
Oh, when you break the telephone
Sega
box, you
released
get a...
Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3 for free for Xbox
Don't hit me
Live
with your
Gold,
pipe.
For Xbox Live Gold members, which is really incredible.
I sent that ginger flying.
Whoosh!
Oh, heel lady. kicked me.
Classic game. Okay, so we could play this for hours and hours. Comment, beating up your teammate reminds me of classic Gauntlet. Shots do hurt other players. Yeah, that's fun, right? When it gets a little competitive that way, right? When I played,
gotta Google this thing.
when I played, what the hell, Golden Axe with Johnny, when we tried out the Sega Genesis at games thing, all Johnny did was come after me, which was not cool, but it was fun. Okay, so we played Alien Storm, Altered Beast. Let's check out Comic Zone. This is a classic. Do you remember this game? Did you ever play this one?
Which one?
Comic Zone.
No, I didn't.
And Top Shelf Gaming says the music on all these games are badass. Yeah.
I was a Nintendo kid. I never had a Sega growing up.
Oh, really?
I had a bunch of friends who had them, so I would go to their house and play. But
I had the Genesis, and then I babysat a kid who had the Super Nintendo, and he had ActRaiser hooked up to a stereo television, and I heard the Super Nintendo stereo music for the first time, and I went, "Oh my god!" And I immediately bought a Super Nintendo after that.
yeah, it's Double Dragon. The chat was right. Where,
Oh, yeah?
Like the opening cutscene, a woman just gets like punched and taken away, and you gotta go get her.
Ah. Okay, so this is another
Oh,
beat 'em
I've
up.
played this. I've played this.
And this has been released
is
on
this-
iPhones and everything.
Is this 2-player?
No, it's one player.
Okay, so I get to put the
But
controller down.
it is amazing. I don't know where the I can't hear the. Or maybe it's coming out of the other speaker. I can't hear the punches.
I think every game should have team kill.
Can you guys hear the punches? See if ask the chat.
Chat, how does the audio sound? I put up
I hear the
volume.
music, but I don't.
Do
hear
you want me to
the-
go check?
Yeah,
Let me check.
because we're routing through the Elgato and the computer and the television, and the television is coming back to me. All I'm hearing is music. I'm not hearing any of the punches. Okay, good. Okay, good. So this is I love this game. This is a game that needs to be remade for sure. So all of these enemies that I'm fighting are on comic book panels, as you can tell.
That's cool. I like that aesthetic.
It's such a great idea. And then the hand will come in and draw little elements every once in a while too. This is one of my favorite Genesis games, and it was developed in the United States, unlike most of the software for the platform. Okay.
Tyler Fisher, I have my audio low because the lady is sleeping.
Ah, gotcha.
Or you can put it on headphones. That's what I do.
So I got my rat buddy.
Your rat
Yeah,
buddy?
Yeah, I have a little rat buddy that I can send, and then there's these things.
Now here's the
boom.
question.
Okay.
Did this game ever get turned into an actual comic? 'Cause
That
that would make a lot of sense.
They might have done some promo comics when this thing came out. This was just before we started doing EP for real. You know, it was games like this that were really influential to the original pitch concept of EP.
I like the color.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah, that was my biggest problem with the NES is a lot of the games have a really ugly color palette.
Yeah, well, they didn't have the
Yeah, because they didn't have the
crossover.
range. But
Yeah.
then you look at like Mario 3, there's a really nice color palette.
Right.
But like the original Castlevania is an ugly game color-wise.
Right. Yeah, and I just bought the Curse of the new one that's based off of Iga's new game there.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Curse of Bloodstain.
Right.
And it's ugly. in keeping with its 8-bit kind of style. But I mean, ugly, but also beautiful too.
Yeah, because the NES had what, like 8 colors or 16 colors?
Depending on what era of development. I just read somewhere that people are hacking Super Nintendo cartridges to run on the NES.
That's pretty cool.
which is pretty rad, right?
The SNES was my system. Like the games from
Amazing.
that still look like Super Mario World is one of the best looking games even
Yeah.
to this day. Like it's a beautiful game.
Absolutely. I still think it's.
Vic, what would have happened if you kept punching the barrel?
I would have busted it.
Would there be stuff in it?
No.
Oh, you're breaking through the comic panels. That's so cool.
Isn't it great?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I really love this. It's a hard game. You only get one life. It's not long.
So it's like real life.
Yeah,
You only have one life to live.
you only get one, and when you die, you're out. And you can miss those jumps really easily, which I've done millions of times. I've never really gotten too far in this thing, but I just appreciate the aesthetics of it.
Blade Blur is pointing out this was one of the final Genesis games because it came out in 1996. So
Yeah.
games that come out at the tail end of a console always look the best because.
Was this a '96? Because
Yeah.
we were actively making Electric Playground then. I wonder if they sent this to us. They might have. We did start to get Genesis games, or some of our first games to review. The first game that was ever sent to us to review, this little trivia note, was Samurai Showdown for the 3DO from Crystal Dynamics, who was a publisher back in that time.
This was 95 actually.
95.
You're off by a year, Blade Blur.
Oh, I fell. Okay, man, that's it. So the hand comes in and I'm dead.
Yeah, because by the end of the console's lifespan, the developers know how to get the most out of
totally.
the system, right? So it
Okay,
always looks best.
let's check out Landstalker. This was impressive to me when I was going through these games for the review. I had this game, but I think I was well into Super Nintendo and dreaming about the PlayStation era by the time this thing came out.
People are saying what their first consoles were.
Yeah.
Matthew Longo says 3DO was his first console. Tyler Fisher, I think my first console was Atari 2600. The first one I ever played was NES, but the first one I ever owned was the SNES.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because I was born 86, so a little too young to have my own NES.
Oh, okay. What's happening here?
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's like a little bit like Marble Madness meets.
Like Q-Bird or something.
Yeah. Oh, and this is the
Perspective.
cool thing. There's a fast forward option, so I can zip through all of these credits and all that stuff if I want to, which is pretty darn cool.
Can you
right?
rewind the actual game once you start playing?
You can rewind and start and fast forward. I think everywhere within the game, which is pretty cool.
That's the coolest thing about the SNES and NES classics is that you can save at any point you want.
Yeah,
And
you
on
can
the
do that here.
SNES you can rewind and fast forward.
Yeah.
It really helps with the harder games.
Okay, let's go. I can't skip this, huh?
Blade Blur's first console was the Mega Drive. Well, that's what this is, right?
Yep.
The Genesis is the Mega Drive. They just different names.
There was the Sega Master System was the machine before this that was directly competing with the NES, but did not do well.
My first was ColecoVision, says Doy Owen. What was that one that came out in like the early 70s? We did it this
Odyssey.
day. Yeah, the Magnavox Odyssey.
Yeah.
And you had to put the gels on the TV screen to make it look like the actual game.
Yeah, that might have been the Odyssey 1.
Yeah,
I
there was
think
one
the
in
Odyssey
like
2 was that.
73. And I remember I showed the commercial for the This Day.
Right.
And it's like you had to put a gel on the screen, the TV screen, to make it look like what it was supposed to look like.
My family had Pong. We got the Pong system where you'd toggle some switches and it would be hockey Pong and then it would be basketball Pong. I don't know why I can't skip this. Okay, here we go. I should have saved where I got to. Let's go. 2,000 golds. That's awesome. Okay, I can control this now. Okay, so I'm gonna talk to this lady. Okay, I cannot. Okay, so let's go in here. Let's start our adventure.
Yeah, like the very first Odyssey, you had to put like a gel on your TV because there's just light
Oh, okay.
squares.
Okay.
So you had to put a gel to make it look like a thing.
That's very Vectrex-like.
Yeah.
The Vectrex was a pretty incredible system. I have one of those. I bought it from a now dead department store chain called Eaton's. When Milton Bradley had all but gone out of business with this stuff. And that launched at like $400 Canadian, the Vectrex, and I couldn't afford it, so I bought it when the company died, and I bought it for $90. And then at one of the classic gaming expo things, I was able to buy all the games on one cartridge kind of thing, which I don't know if it was legal, but they were selling them there. So I have a whole bunch of classic Vectrex games.
Paul,
It'd be fun to figure out a way to stream some of those.
You probably do it. Get a little converter box or something.
Well, it's its own built-in little vector machine.
Oh, there's no output out of it? Oh,
No.
okay.
So we'd have to frame up a camera to shoot it, which we could do.
Paul Adamson, no, Aladdin is not in this collection.
No, and that's one of the problems with this collection is that there aren't any of the licensed titles. I mentioned I don't know if it made it into the review, but I mentioned the Batman and Robin cartridge that Sega made, which I wasn't a huge fan of because it was just a silly kind of beat 'em up in a shooter. But in retrospect, it's kind of nice to see that because it had the art style of the animated series.
Right.
But they don't have anything like that. They didn't have the Garfield game, which was really good for the Genesis that Sega made.
Yeah, I remember that Aladdin game. That was one
Aladdin
of the
was
games I
awesome.
played at a friend's house who had the Genesis. That was a great game.
I'm pretty sure that's the game that Shiny made, that Tommy worked on.
Yeah, someone in the chat, I think it was Doyoan, pointed out that Tommy
And
did the music for it.
Tommy did the music, and David Perry and the Shiny Entertainment team before they made Earthworm Jim, which is also another incredible Genesis cartridge that should have been on this collection too. Maybe that's what the the empty shelf space is for.
They're still working out the licensing deals.
Maybe.
They're gonna add it as
why
DLC.
wouldn't they want to do that, right?
Yeah.
It's a new era. But now what's weird is that Sega keeps doing this, like, okay, now we have a console that you're going to buy, right? And that's going to launch later this year too.
Yeah. Well, they're just trying to catch up with what Nintendo's doing with the NES Classic, right?
Well, I like the idea of opening the door to allowing partners to augment those. You know, even if you got to sell them, I think people would buy these things at $3 or $5 or $10 if the game.
Could you imagine if the SNES and NES Classics had, first of all, been available to buy in stores and not sold out in 5 seconds,
Yeah.
but if they had a Wi-Fi connectivity built in,
Yeah.
and then Nintendo could sell all your other old games for $5 a pop,
Yeah.
how much money Nintendo would have made?
So I'm already stuck. I forget what I did to get past this, but I got past this.
It's always tricky with the faux 3D
Yeah.
in these older games to know like where you're going. And
I think this is really impressive, though. You know, like it's got a bit of a Zelda kind of vibe. And the art and the pixels, the sprites are huge on this. I love it. Okay, well, that's a little tiny taste. I want to get through a couple more of these games.
let's try the original Sonic. Because
Okay.
that you can't go wrong with Sonic.
Nope.
Unless you're Sega, and then you can go wrong with Sonic a lot.
when you try to go 3D. Should Konami remake Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater? That's the rumor, Spider-Man, at the PlayStation conference. I don't know if you saw there was a leaked.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday.
There's a leaked picture of what's going to be at the Sega conference.
Oh, is this? I can't remember. Is there two-player
No,
co-op at the same time?
one player.
When do you play as Tails?
Not on the first one.
Oh.
This was the big dilemma. So I'm in for a remake as long as Metal Gear 3 is as good a remake as Shadow of the Colossus. So not just up-resing existing, but actually going in and making 4K graphics around the original art. Yoji Shinkawa?
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible.
Didn't we have? Yeah, we had sushi with him when we did the Metal Gear
Yeah.
Dog, right?
Yeah, good guy.
Shinkawa-san. That was an expensive sushi restaurant.
Yeah, there's nothing cheap in Tokyo, man.
It's almost as bad as living in Vancouver.
I know, right? Uh-oh.
How did you not die when you landed?
I
on those?
have. I
Oh,
don't
you
have
got
these.
your star power.
Yeah.
Vic, why aren't you doing the circle
You
go
can't.
really
You
fast?
can't do the dash in the first game.
What?
Yeah, they introduced it later.
Okay,
I
I'm
was
not a
trying to do
Sonic
that.
expert.
I was trying to do that.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Is that?
Yeah. Yeah, the audio's all screwed up for me here. I don't know how it's sounding to you guys.
How's the audio sound, people?
I'm getting like half of the music.
I guess I'm gonna just turn this up. Sounds fine to me on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I probably just caused the worst echo of all time. Sorry, chat. I really like the design of Sonic.
Oh, it's amazing.
He's so cute, like, when he does that, and when he does this. I guess they designed him to be, like, the radical, in-your-face version of Mario. Because all the advertising was based around making him cooler than Mario.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like Poochie. He's proactive.
Well, they got me, man, because I mean, the Genesis came out before the Super Nintendo did, for starters. But the NES, I actually didn't get that until, because I was already in university when the NES came out, and I was a major in theater and a minor in
You just
English.
really dated yourself, Vic.
Yeah, I've been around for a long time. But I wasn't gaming as much. I didn't have the time, didn't have the money, didn't have the freedom to do it. But when I got out, I was like, I'm getting back in. I love games. I'm doing this, and I bought the NES towards the end of its lifespan, and thought it was great. Loved River City Ransom, and then the Genesis advertising came out, and it was like, holy crap! Look at these games. It totally blew my mind. So I bought that, and I was living with a bunch of roommates. And we played this together, and we were all like singing the song together and passing the controller around. And incredible memories. Genesis was awesome. But then, yes, everything did change with the Super Nintendo. It's a better platform.
I think we sometimes forget just how cool the N64 was. I guess there were other 3D consoles too, like the
PlayStation and Saturn.
But the N64 for me, like playing GoldenEye multiplayer and just like
Oh yeah, totally.
it was so cool to be able to do that.
Vos Vegas
console.
asks, have we ever done anything with EXP before what we're going to do next week? I have done a couple of events there before, and had some great times with those people. Brian Vidovich, I think is how you say his last name. Known him for a long time. He's a great guy, and I've wanted that place to be very successful, and they've been able to be around for a long time, which is tough in any business. And so I'm psyched that we're going to go down there. We've heard good things about the new menu that they've got cooking up.
They're making their own menu of items just for our events.
And they're going to do something like that too,
yeah,
which is amazing.
That's so cool, yeah. They're going to have special items and stuff.
Oh, I have
It's
it,
pretty
yeah.
cool of them. So yeah, if you're in, I mean, anybody can watch it, but if you're in the Vancouver area, if you want to come physically there and join us, that'd be awesome.
I did save. Oh, you know what? I keep thinking I saved it on my other PlayStation 4.
Oh, really? It doesn't sync?
No, that's why. Okay, so this is developed. This is Light Crusader, and this is developed by Treasure.
This is one of the ones you
I've never
mentioned.
even heard about this. Yeah, this is one of the ones
Mentioned
I
this in your
mentioned
review,
in the review, and it's so cool. Okay.
And we should say the only press conference we're not streaming is Nintendo, because we're gonna literally be on an airplane during their press conference. So I remember last year we got off the plane and I turned my internet on and it was like, oh, Metroid Prime 4 was announced. Cool.
Yeah.
So
Comment, Sonic Genesis on GBA put in Spin Dash, but don't bother with that version. However, the Sega 3D Classics collection on 3DS did the same and is playable.
oh, so they actually retroactively put the feature into the old game?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Who else really misses the series icons from G4? We need more shows like that. That and EP gave me such a behind the mask feel to game makers. Tyler, that's a fantastic comment. I've got, I'm talking with some publishers about doing some documentary stuff. I don't know if it's going to happen. I think what happened with YouTube and Twitch and stuff is that a lot of game makers decided that they could just make their own video content in-house. And so we were doing tons and tons of docs with partners. But that kind of went away a little bit.
dried
when
up, yeah.
YouTube and Twitch and Facebook started putting so much video. But I feel like there is, again, more of an appetite because of exactly what you're talking about. We need to kind of editorialize these stories and get in and show these people and create content and information about who is making these incredible games. And so, keep your fingers crossed. I'm hoping that we're going to have some EPN created docs for some cool games this year. We did some fun stuff working with Nintendo last year. I'm really proud of the Metroid piece that we put together with those guys. If you haven't checked that out, please do. We'll put a link in the description below. But we have a whole documentary playlist, and we've done some amazing projects over the years that it's been an honor for us to be able to do a lot of that stuff. Now, this game is another sort of isometric action RPG, so you can hack and slash and jump, and you can go and talk to all the townsfolk.
And there's the point of this, there's a lot of humor in it, you were saying?
Yeah, I mean, I have to find the lady, but I found this lady in this town who wanted to show me her skills as a musician. And it's just hilarious.
I like how you walk around with your sword out. That's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
You could smack someone with that.
I think something extraordinary is going on. So people have gone missing.
That's the cool thing about these collections is you discover awesome games that you missed.
Yeah.
Like what was that RPG on the NES Classic? The Ocean Oasis.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know the one I mean?
Yeah.
Like I played that. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm gonna find out the name right here.
It's great.
While I look for the name, I have a question. It's a good one from Scottish Japanese Forever.
Okay.
Vic, best video game movie in your opinion?
Best video game movie. Oh man. There was one or two of those Resident Evil movies that I didn't hate. I actually thought the Tomb Raider movie this year was pretty solid.
Yeah, there's a couple of watchable Resident Evil movies.
Yeah. So she's terrible. She can't play this. You can't hear it, but the first time I heard it, I was busted out.
Well, I cut the review, and it's in the review. I gotta find out the name of this game that I like. I like it so much I can't remember. Star Tropics. I never even heard of Star Tropics, and then I played it on the NES Classic. So that's kind of what this is, I
He's
guess.
totally dancing too. That's the way he's breathing, but it's so funny, man. I love it. And she's like, I'm not that talented. It's just epic. That made me howl. Treasure's got a sense of humor around all this stuff. Okay. So
Spider-Man is in the chat. It's pretty cool.
Spider-Man. I love it.
Comment, what was your guys' opinion when Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate was announced for the Switch in the West?
I think it's great.
Smart idea.
That was an awesome 3DS title. And not as, I think, inclusive and expansive as Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, that might be a problem, right? Because there's all these new fans because of World, and then they're gonna jump into this more hardcore one.
It's still super playable. It just feels a little, feel a little dated, but it's still super playable. It's so refined. They made so many variations and iterations of Monster Hunter. The last few on 3DS have been incredible.
I have my theory that
this moves, and then I can go down here, so I can sneak in this. So I'm in this great. It's such a cool game.
I think that part of the reason why the new Pokemon games for the Switch are more less hardcore and more accessible.
Yeah.
A lot of that has to do with the success, the Pokemon Go, but also the success of Monster Hunter World, because that game has done so much better than any of the other Monster Hunter games.
Right.
I think a lot of other publishers, particularly Japanese ones, are going to look at that and go, okay, let's try to do the same thing with our franchise.
I think they're trying to cash in on the accessibility of Go as well.
Yeah, that's definitely...
And trying to sort of model their console game off of a mobile type of experience to see if players will make that, gravitate to that. Do you think without the AR piece in the Switch game, is that going to hurt it at all?
It'll definitely have better battery life. I don't think that's a problem.
I think a lot of people probably turn that off, right?
Yeah, the AR is a cool novelty, but you don't need it to make the game good.
This game is a trip. I'd never heard of it. I'd never played it. So happy to have discovered it.
It's cool.
It's really cool. And one of the things that's pretty amazing about this too is the control on the analog thumbstick is pretty fluid for a game that was made for digital controls in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Solid.
Tyler Fisher says that Star Ocean has a new game coming for Stupid Mobile.
Maximum Life.
Like you can just push objects.
Yeah.
Walking.
You do that with the cows.
Yeah, that's just so funny.
So this is just fantastic. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, jump. Ooh, ouch. Free this person.
Nintendo Boy wants to know who, other than us, what are your favorite YouTube review shows, Vic?
I think Johnny does an incredible job with Happy Console Gamer, and I'm a big fan of Re-Rez as well.
If you want to know about Dragon Ball Z, subscribe to Bear's channel.
Oh, Dragon Ball Fighters.
The new Fighter Z.
Baruti, who is going to be joining us on EP Live next week. That's the one thing I didn't mention, is that Baruti is going to come and be my co-host and my buddy on camera, and we might have some other surprises.
And hopefully all of you will be joining us too.
Yes. Johnny won't be there though, because he's going to be doing Happy Console Gamer, live or some pretty massive coverage of E3.
I think you're supposed to avoid those spikes.
I know. I was talking and thinking. I like JKB as well. He's always been super sweet to us, and he's a super dedicated YouTuber out there. I love the kind of funny guys. I like what Giant Bomb is doing. They don't really kind of classify themselves as YouTubers, but you know, there's tons of great people out there, man.
Blade Blur, favorite Treasure game, Vic? You talked about Treasure earlier in the show.
Gunstar Heroes. So that's what we're going to play right now. And this was their first game, I believe. And I hope you guys have played this game. It's incredible. All right.
Has Vic ever played Maximum Carnage? That's a question
Super
from
Nintendo.
That's a question from Travis Lawson.
I'm sure I have, but I don't think it resonated with me because I was yet to become a big Spider-Man fan when that came out. I was a DC guy. I was reading the Batman comics and the DC comics and stuff. You want to jump in with me?
Oh, is it 2-player?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Oh, wait a sec. What happened? I think you pressed a button.
What do I do?
I don't know how to get back.
Isn't that the guy who made Mega Man?
Oh, no,
shoot.
not that.
Oh, no. What are we doing? Oh, no.
Pressing everything. Stop. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Let's restart this thing. It should be easier to be able to go back to the beginning, but you can't. Okay. Don't press anything until we're ready to go.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Gunstar Heroes Treasure. 2 players.
Oh, Scottish Japanese Forever says, Vic, I suggest you do a buried treasure on the PS1 game Jersey Devil.
Jersey Devil. Okay.
I remember that game. I remember the commercial for it when it came out. Because it was kind of a Spyro-looking game.
So,
okay, now you want me to?
yep,
what do you want me to do?
Pick your character and pick your thing.
Fixed
and then
shot,
press the
free
circle
shot.
button.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Jersey
Take it
Devil.
easy, Las Vegas. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Jersey Devil was kind of a Spyro game, Spyro-esque game, I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I remember the commercial.
I think we have to find Maximum Carnage and try to find a way to stream that sucker, don't we?
Which one am I? Am I the blue guy or the blue guy?
You're blue.
Okay, which one? Which of the 2 blue guys am I?
There's an opportunity is a Marvel Classic Games compilation.
Oh yeah, that's a nightmare though, legally.
But that's what they should do. Just get through it, man. Like, Nintendo was able to license all of their third-party, or a bunch of them, for their 2 classic collections. Imagine a Marvel-shaped console of some kind that allows you to play all of the old 8-bit, 16-bit, and early stuff. It'd be so cool.
They
Who
really
wouldn't want that.
They really needed to make these characters look more distinct. Because I keep looking at your guy, confusing the 2. I think I'm the dark blue one, right? Am I the dark blue one?
Yeah, you're the guy with blue shoulder pads.
Okay, they both have blue shoulder pads.
No,
That's the problem.
No, my guy's got red ones.
Oh.
Are you colorblind?
See, I can't even see that. No, but I can't even see the shoulder pads. It's so tiny.
Okay.
They should have like the whole costume should be a different color.
I'm kicking ass. I don't know what you're doing. I'm having.
I don't know what I'm doing either. Why is this a giant sandwich in the middle of the thing? What is this thing?
Sandbag, bud.
It looks like a sandwich. I have no idea what I'm doing, Vic. I'm sorry.
You're doing great.
Why do we keep throwing each other when we...
That's part of the 2-player charm. So I believe, if I read my Wikipedia correctly,
it's a caterpillar.
This was the first game that Treasure shipped. And boy, did they come out strong. This is considered one of their classics, if not their best one. Ikaruga is another one that people hold to a deserved high regard.
Look at this. We have the same haircut and everything.
I know, man.
That's lame.
I think you could have chose a different character. I'm not sure.
It gave me. I think it gave me an option of that.
Okay. Well,
okay, I really suck at this game, Vic.
You're alive. We're good.
I'm alive. I haven't died yet.
We're good, man. Fun's just begun.
And I hate that I keep grabbing you every time I cross you, because it's, like, annoying.
You guys tell me some of your favorite YouTubers, whether you're watching the live or the archive. Let me know some of the other channels that you love checking out. There's tons of them out there, and my mind went blank there, trying to think of other ones. But always happy to check out other people's work and
Oh my god, I
see what
suck
people are up
so
to.
bad at this game. Are we supposed to just kill these things?
Yeah,
How long is
It's
this?
just like a mini boss kind of deal.
Okay.
Trust me, it gets really cool, and the weapons are awesome in this game. Oh, you know what we gotta do is we gotta kill this plant.
How do we kill the plant?
You gotta shoot at the plant. There we go. If you press the square button, you select between your two different weapon types. There we go.
Oh, the
You get
plant
to move on.
exploded.
As they do.
I love it when plants explode in real life. Isn't that like, the greatest thing?
Get 'em!
Okay, I suck. Am I dead?
Press start.
Do I have to?
No, you don't have to. You can
I'm gonna look at the chat.
see if there's any questions or comments.
I suck so bad at this game, I feel like I'm dragging you down.
Oh, it's a thing of beauty, this game.
Oh, Nintendo Boy says
Love
his favorite YouTuber, Angry Video Game Nerd. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, he's great, yeah.
He's funny, yeah.
Yeah.
Angry Joe.
I like Angry Joe, too. Straight up.
LRG, I don't know what that is.
Nope.
LRG, is that a?
Don't know.
I'm not a hip kid anymore. At Shield, I don't know who that is. No one said PewDiePie, so that's a good thing.
I don't. Does
Nobody
he
likes-
really do video game stuff?
Does he? Does? Yeah, he streams games.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like PewDiePie,
But
so I'm
he's-
glad no
he's-
one has mentioned him.
He's more about how famous he is now than anything.
Yeah. Well, he still streams games, because I know
Okay.
whenever he gets in trouble, it's when he's streaming a game and
Okay.
says something stupid.
Okay. I guess it's a games
Oh,
are a way to just
LRG is Lazy Game Review.
lazy game.
I should check. I've never heard of that. Maybe I should check it out. I'm all about the lazy.
Is it LGR or LRG?
Oh, I must have read it wrong.
Okay.
Oh no, they wrote it wrong at the
Okay.
top. Doyle wrote it wrong.
All right. So this had some polygonal types of creations as well, blowing people's mind. I think
Oh.
they were polygonal.
Hold down the fire button, Vic. You don't need to keep tapping it.
Just hold it down.
Yeah, someone said, Mondo Blasto says hold down the fire button.
Okay. All right.
Maybe it just auto fires? That way you don't have to keep tapping it?
I don't have much health. I don't know how much longer.
Okay,
I'm alive.
let me jump back in.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just hold down the fire button. You don't need to keep tapping, you just hold it down.
Okay.
Am I dead? Where am I?
I'm dead.
Ah, okay.
All right. So that was Gunstar Heroes.
So I suck at Gunstar Heroes.
I think there was one more we didn't play in the.
What's the one big one we haven't played?
I think I picked out most of the big ones. We got Rystar.
Go through all of them. Let's see what there is.
Okay, well, there's Golden
We didn't
Axe,
do Golden Axe. We didn't do Phantasy Star.
Beyond Oasis, Crackdown, Decap Attack, Dynamite
SWAT.
Heady.
We didn't do that. E-SWAT we didn't do.
I
We already did a Sonic.
don't know if people have played Vector Man. I don't know how popular these things were, but this is an amazing game series too. Vector Man 1 and 2. This came out towards the end of the Genesis lifespan.
What are your favorite non-game YouTube channels and or non-movie YouTube channels as well?
I like Red Letter Media. They're funny.
Yeah, they're a movie channel though.
Yeah.
Right?
Non-media YouTube channels.
Yeah.
I still check out Casey Neistat's stuff all the time. I think he's great. And I check out a lot of camera reviews and stuff that I think are pretty solid as well.
I follow a lot of political ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this game. Didn't we play this on the on this thing? The Sega Genesis
We might have.
thingy?
Yeah.
This looks familiar.
Yeah, I love this game.
Oh, Gaming Historian is a good channel. Yeah, I
Yeah.
follow them. They're good. They do like really good pre-cut videos.
Johnny's been in the YouTube community for like more than 10 years, I think. And he's always listing off like Metal Jesus and stuff like the people that he knows personally and
Metal Jesus?
Yeah.
That's an awesome name.
He's always dropping these names of different channels and sites and stuff like that I need to check out. I do check stuff out every once in a while for sure, but you know, I get pretty busy with the content that we're building.
Well, that's cool. The clay monster or whatever that is.
Yeah, I love this series.
This is beautiful with the flags and everything.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's great.
This was towards the end, and they did a huge contest. I think they were giving away $1 million or something like that to kind of promote this thing. And then a sequel came out, and then they never did anything with Vector Man ever again. Sega has so many brands and so many IP, and unlike Nintendo, who finds a way to kind of work their stuff back in all the time, they just drop them like hot potatoes.
Well, Sega's not as big as Nintendo, right?
No, not anymore. But honestly, they got huge. You know, they were a huge hardware manufacturer, and like I think every single one of these games, there's 50 of them on here, and this is indicative of all the games they released for the Genesis. But they published almost all of these, if not every single one of them. That's impressive as hell.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot of games to get out to market, to publish, and to pay for, and to you know, get into people's hands. So very cool. Would love your ideas and thoughts.
Are we done?
I think that's it. I think that's a good taste of some Sega Genesis fun. Can't recommend this collection enough. It's super cool. But if you already have one, you probably have a lot of these games already. Or if you bought this at games thing like I did, you have tons of games. The one thing about Classic,
Sega has another one of these coming out.
and
soon,
they have
right?
another one coming out for sure. What
bye,
I said
everyone.
in my review though about being able to just go right to my PlayStation 4 hard drive and just load all that stuff up, love it, because I'm not always going to want to go and dig around and find cartridges or find a game disc to be able to play some of these classic games and just jump right in and be inspired and have those flashback kind of memories as well. Had a ton of fun this week, and we're going to be back with more EP Lives next week. We've got a classic episode of Electric Playground. It's episode 13 of our 4th season, dropping this weekend, so stay tuned for that. And then next weekend, we are going to be live at EXP, so please come and join us if you can. If you're in the Vancouver area, EXP is on Pender Street, and I tweeted out and Instagrammed out the times that we're going to be there. So there's going to be a lot of content coming, a lot of E3 content, and of course we're going to E3 and collecting a lot of interviews and hands-on videos and stuff like that. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. Thank you for your support, and remember, we've got lots of content for you to enjoy. Please go around at our channel and check them out, and if you dig it, hit subscribe, that little bell, and if you're so inclined, that sponsorship button too. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you very soon.